YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to walk through really quickly what you need to collect in the month of January until April. Between that time, whenever it is that you're going to file your taxes, everything you might need to collect and have on hand so that you're ready to go when you do finally decide to file. As a rule of thumb, it's good to keep in mind that you want to collect anything regarding any kind of accounts with money or investments. And so that means anything you paid out or received regarding a home, rental properties, your income with your money, or if you paid anyone for services, any of those things, keep on hand and have it ready because those are going to be the big ticket items. Everything else is kind of small details and pertains to each individual person, but generally the big items everyone has is going to be some source of income, some kind of bank account or account, and payments on rent or a mortgage. The official deadline for these companies to get you all these items is January 31st. A lot of companies are great at getting these throughout January. A couple of them might be lingering into the first week of February. So I would keep an eye out if you know something's coming, or even call those companies to see if they've released it electronically or if they have the correct address so that you can get all the documents you need on time. I'm gonna go through a couple of the big ticket items I think that most people have, so keep watching to see if these apply to you. Again, everyone's situation is different depending on what you own, depending on what you're paying for. It's all gonna be different, but these are the big ticket items that I think apply to most people across the board. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go. The most common form I believe a lot of people will have is a W-2, and this is just the wage and tax statement. It's going to have all your company's information, everything they paid out to you, what they allocated for things like Social Security, Medicare, tips, dependent care, any elections that you chose to have during the year. All of that's going to be on this form. It doesn't always look exactly like this. Sometimes it's kind of skinnier. It comes in a little batch of 3 copies, but this is generally what it's going to have. It's going to have all this information on there, and depending on how your company files it or what company they use to create these forms, it could look a little bit different, but just make sure it's that W-2 at the bottom or the top. That's the form that'll show all of your income, and it's totally normal to have more than one of these if you had more than one job. The second form is going to be the 1099 miscellaneous, and the 1099 is right here. So 1099 miscellaneous form, this is just going to show any kind of miscellaneous payments that were made to you from a company that conducted business. And so if a company is doing business, let's say, it's something like Ameritrade, and they are conducting business, the business of stocks. So you happen to have stocks and you were paid out a certain form, you will get a form 1099 from them showing anything that was paid in regards to interest or anything like that. They have to, by law, send this form to you to show that they paid out a certain amount to someone while they conducted their business. And that's what this form is. You may or may not get one. If you do know that you have these other accounts that you got paid from that weren't employment, then you know you're going to get one of these. If you didn't, don't worry about this form. The next 2 forms are pretty similar. They're 1098E and T, and depending on if you paid tuition, if you received tuition, or if you had to pay loan interest on your student loans, then you're going to get one of these for those accounts. If you didn't, again, disregard, but a lot of people will get this just because they're paying on their student loans, they're collecting interest on them, or they made a tuition payment. Similar to this, there's just the form 1098 for mortgage interest. If you had some kind of mortgage payment, if you owned a house or property and you made payments on them, you're going to get one of these 1098s to show the interest paid during the year. Although this might not apply to everyone in the state of Minnesota, we do have what we call a CRP. This is just a certificate of rent paid. If you don't own a property, but you were renting a property, you're going to get credit in states like Minnesota for the amount that you did pay. So you'll get this and it'll say that you paid during the year, however much. You could get one for your whole family. Sometimes I've seen apartments do one per adult, and they'll split that amount divided by the adults. Either way, you should get one, and it will count in the state of Minnesota. If you're somewhere else, I would look into this to see if you get credit for anything like this when you make rental payments. That's all that's in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Send me an email, and I will see you guys all in the next video.